Hello, everyone, and welcome to Red Valkyrie Presents. I'm, of course, your host, Shae the Red, with my amazing co-host, Cyborg Valkyrie. How are you doing, Alex?
Wonderful for someone who woke up 20 minutes ago. I'm doing awesome.
Yeah.
Doing awesome.
Alex
Nothing like
is
insomnia.
well rested.
Yes, sure. We'll go with that.
We're going to say well rested because while you slept, I did a cosplay. So fuck off, be well rested, be happy. We're here with the awesome Paul
How
Thayer.
are you,
How
Shae?
are you doing? Oh, I'm good.
I'm doing great.
Well, I'm really excited to have you on. So you hit us up. I had never heard of this project. I started looking through it and was like, how have I not heard of this project? Because this looks fucking bomb.
Thanks, I appreciate that. That's usually the case. That's why I'm trying to do as many shows and speak to as many people as possible, because
Right.
this is our 9th Kickstarter, and we've done 2 Indiegogos as well, all fulfilled, and we're just trying to get that word out.
Yeah, well, and it looks like you have a really good solidified style, and so coming from it from like a host perspective, it looks like there's a lot to work with. But then coming from it from a cosplayer perspective, you have a lot of really cool, very challenging characters that I actually had a hard time whittling down what I was gonna do.
Yeah.
So we'll go into. Are you ready, Saya, to do the cosplay reveal?
Oh my god, I wasn't.
Oh, of course you're not. You're never ready.
You're horrible.
It's fine.
All right, fine.
Metamorphosis completed, sir.
Shae the Red.
Has now become
Awesome.
Bam.
Yeah, that's awesome. So cool.
So I did a gender bend of your character because the girl that I wanted to do had her hair on fire, and that was not going to be in the cards.
I mean,
do that. Yeah,
you could do that for about 30 seconds.
Yeah.
You just got to commit.
I mean, I'm not committing like that. That's too much. But this character is fucking awesome, and it took a second because I had to look at a couple different references to figure out how they looked, because they look almost like a different character, but not, depending on what frames you look at in the comic. So I'm really excited to show everybody what the comic actually is, which is Project Naosis, assuming I said it right. And let me, I'm just gonna let you kind of dive into this because you're on episode 5 of this. So this is already like a well in progress story.
Yeah, so this is actually our 9th book within the series. Every book that I've released on Kickstarter is from the world of Project Naosis. So we did Project Naosis 0, 1, 2, 3. That was volume 1. Volume 2 is 4, 5, 6, 7, and this is 5. We also have 2 prequel books that we did, and then we have a one-shot that we did with one of our supervillains. And yeah, so this is the episode 5. This is the first time ever that our main supervillain is going face to face with our heroes. So a brief summary: in 2090, a speedster named Crimson Payne, that villainous guy on the left side in the red, rises up and kills off all the superheroes in existence. So the government makes a super enhanced team called Project Naosis to fight off the rebellion. It's super action packed. There's no multiverse or do-overs. And this was a classified unit, and for 5 years they were, behind the scenes in this war. And then in episode 3, they fought in the middle of a city, so clearly everybody knows these people exist. But now the world says, hey, these people are superheroes, and really they're not. And they brutally murder villains, and they do crazy stuff to make sure war doesn't go any further. So we have that double-edged sword. So we're facing a lot of different problems going into episode 5. But it's new reader friendly from episode 4's start, so we do it pretty well for new readers and old readers.
Very cool, very cool. This it looks really visceral. Like you were saying, a lot of people think that they're superheroes and they're like, oh, they're here to save the day, they're gonna be awesome, like do all these cool things, and then you have scenes like these panels where people are just getting completely ripped in half, and it definitely, while it could be for kids, I would say like probably an older audience.
Yeah, I refrain from the sexual themes, so it's really just the action. So I tell the people, if their kid plays video games, they could definitely pick up this book. If they don't play video games, I would read it first. Read it first.
Any video game beyond like Minecraft and
Yeah. Like, as long as they're not playing Animal Crossing, they're probably going to be fine.
Who the
Animal
fuck plays
Crossing
Animal
might be-
Crossing?
People, you know, they play Call of Duty or they play
Yeah.
Mortal Kombat or Street Fighter. It's kind of up that alley, but then we bring it, to that next level.
Yeah,
Animal
absolutely.
Crossing.
Like, I'm just saying, Animal Crossing's popular.
Fuck, you're old.
Wow, thanks.
You're welcome.
Such a dickhead. I hate you. Okay, so you've got this team of characters. Kind of
Yep.
run us through who is who, because there were so many.
Thanks. Yeah. So the thing with us is we have a lot of characters. You can they either die or they don't die, and we try to make them as cool as possible. So in the middle right there, that's Omega. He's the leader of the group.
Okay.
The guy to the right of him with like that V kind of mask, that's Lithium. That's his younger brother. So the thing with the powers, right? So they took these soldiers and gave them a serum, and that serum gave them powers, right? But it was a 40% success rate, 60% death rate. But if you're someone in your family took it, like let's say your brother or sister, your brother and sister could take it, and they're already, you're proven because you have the same genetic code. So the two brothers are on the team. That's why they recruited the brother, because they knew it was an easy in. And they both have energy power. So one shoots purple energy, one shoots blue energy, kind of made it like scientific. The guy in between them, that's Thorn. If you ever seen like Mortal Kombat, Baraka can pull out the blades. Well,
Yeah.
he can pull out the blades too, and he can shoot them. So that's his power. Above him is Hellsate. That's the person I assumed that you were going for at first. That's our fire character.
She's so
can
cool.
fly, can absorb heat, and also project fire. So we're using those powers, and she's super fun to aesthetically draw. And the hair too wasn't even part of the idea. And then my artist just drew it, and it was done. It's part
You're
of
just
it
like,
now.
that's clearly how she needs to look from
Yeah. We had a lot
Yeah.
of fun with that.
If the character can absorb heat, could she like grab someone and suck all the heat out of them and like kill them?
I wouldn't know about humans, but let's say for an example, like an explosion happens, she can absorb the explosion and like just bring it into her from the if a bomb goes off. So in episode 2, these explosions go off, and she was able to absorb like the whole explosion that happened.
Oh, okay.
Um,
Well, kind
in
of helps with the
between-
residual damage.
Right next to Omega, the guy that has the worn down face, that's to the left, bam, bam. Yeah, that guy right there. He's usually in a full mask that moves with his face. He's hybrid. He can heal himself, and he's also their marksman.
Nice.
He has a weapon called the Wrath of Hades. It's super cool, energy beam weapon. And then to the left is the person that's basically there, sent from the government to basically supervise and be with this team. That's Valkyrie Vega. So she's a human, but she's a dual pistols and kicks ass.
Nice. So this is like the handler, essentially.
Yeah, in a sense, you're seeing some conflict of interest. Like, she's been there since the beginning, but she's really there to report to the prime minister and to report to these other people. Even though this Project Naosis unit is the highest form of authority, and they basically can do whatever the hell they want, there's still someone there that reports to the motherland of what's going on.
That makes sense. You can't have superheroes that are just well, you can't have I say superheroes not so much in that they're heroes, but so much in that they're super in what they can do. You can't have them just running amok without anybody being able to be like, hey, just so you know, they're thinking about leveling an entire town to handle this one threat. I thought you might be interested.
So I took that thing too, and so the reason when they went from being a covert unit to everyone knowing they exist, it was actually because that character Valkyrie Vega took out one of the operatives to go check something out, and that happened to be a way bigger thing than they thought it was. They ended up fighting this supervillain that they didn't know existed. So it actually backfired on her, and it's going to put a good conflict of interest going forward of you went without my orders, but things happen. Now they're like a public setting. It's like they have to go on Jimmy Fallon and stuff, even though they're brutally murdering people on the weekends.
Right.
So.
They have to do the PR train on the
Yeah, and it's different because
Got you.
these people were soldiers, or they were,
Right.
they have some dark past that now they're in this hit squad. So,
Oh, that's funny.
So
yeah,
that's
and
healthy.
This was the thing that made me go oh my god, I want to do her. And then the more I looked at it, I was like, oh, I would not be able, in the time constraints that I have, I won't be able to do that hair justice. And I know that I could do something really bomb, but not in a couple of days, or what I normally do, which is 2 hours. So instead of going with her, we went with this guy who just seems terrible.
So that's Banshee. So in episode 1, she basically gets like brutally attacked, and she used to look like more humanist, and then now she's doing these upgrades to like catch up with the people that she fought. So
Okay.
and so they were fighting at the end of episode 4, and we're figuring out what happens at our latest episode, which is sick. Like that's how we ended out the thing. So it's like
Oh wow.
yeah,
Nice.
super cool. And then so we're gonna figure that out, and then on top of that, Crimson Payne was meant to be like a covert not a covert unit, but like it was supposed to be like this small militia. Like they're fighting them in the jungle, they're fighting them in these seclusive areas. And now all of a sudden, a fleet's here. There's thousands of troops. There's no idea what's going on. So it's completely something different than what we thought it was for the last 4 issues. So that's Crimson Payne. He has an awesome fleet. A lot of pew-pews will be going on during there, and they're attacking the Project Naosis unit. And then the next couple pages is that.
It's really cool. I also like the name that you went with for him, like Crimson Payne, and then he's got this like completely maroonish red mask with like the really hideous, smile teeth and everything. Because I feel like I've seen things like that for like people that dirt bike, motorcycles, whatever, where they'll have that kind of mouth guard piece that looks like that, and then seeing it where it's an actual like full helmet thing. Not gonna lie, this was my second that I was gonna do.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I don't have time to do, I can't get Clear Warbler to do the face visor.
Yeah.
And it just looks so cool the way that it kind of highlights everything and just adds to that factor. It reminds me of a lot of different, like throughout wars and throughout a lot of battles and conflicts where people would either paint on their faces like the kind of skeleton stuff to make them seem scarier. They'd have masks, or they'd put it on their bombs, on their ammo, whatever.
So his first appearance was in episode 0. The whole book was about him killing some of these superheroes, and in that book he kills 90 million people. So he kills 90 million people, and he kills the superheroes, and that's what he looks like. And he's Crimson on purpose. Like he wants them to know he's there. Like he's like clearly
he's not
the most
hide.
evilest person that is in my universe. And we're gonna see him in full effect, because every time he's on page, a lot of people die, or the person he's fighting gets brutally gets a fatality done to them. So we'll see what happens to our guys. So
That's crazy. Yeah, this looks really, really neat. And who's the guy with the all the different eyes? That's your main guy,
that's
right?
Omega's mask. So that's
Yeah.
that's our leader. So basically, there's an event happening in episode 4 that Omega, Lithium, and Thorn, they were on their way there, thinking it was just like, okay, there's a little quarrel going on, let's go deal with that. And as they're going there, Crimson Payne is also going there at the same time, and now they're fighting. So it's like big turn. They'll be communicating during this. I didn't put any of the lettering on there, and it's gonna be awesome. No spoilers. It's gonna be awesome.
No spoilers. Just get it, because it's gonna be badass.
Yeah. They're gonna fight. So
Nice.
There's gonna be a winner.
So, how long has this been like in the making? Because this feels like it's something that you've had, kicking
Yeah, you
around
mentioned
for
you had
years.
done like a crap ton of other projects in this series.
Yeah.
So we've been doing it for about 4 years, a little under. I came up with the idea, and I had my first book in 6 months, and then we made 8 books since. So a thing with my campaigns, that was something I should say too. We always fulfill in 1 to 3 months. Realistically, I do it in like 2 months. I fund all this stuff beforehand, like the majority of it. And, this is the pre-order to get us, to that finish line from doing all the conventions and such. And so with this one, we're already 90% done. I have 2 other books in production that come out after this. Like, we're ready to roll. So you're backing a book that, you're guaranteed to get, and we got a lot of more stuff coming.
That's really cool. And then, so did you just have this idea 4 years ago, or was it,
So the idea for the book, Okay, so I thought of a great idea when I was working, and I was like, okay, no one's ever done this idea, but the idea was very complex, and for new readers or any readers, like you can't just drop them into something. At least I know from my perspective, if it's too confusing, I stop reading it.
Yeah.
Even if it looks awesome, then I'll just look through. I was like, oh, color pages, nice, you know. And then so I took that idea, and that's where we're working towards. We have 35 scripts for this series. It'll be anywhere from 30 to 35 scripts. And at that ending is what I originally thought of as the idea. So it could either end there or it could start somewhere new there.
That's
Wow.
pretty crazy. I don't think I've heard an indie that that goes that long. Like, I don't want to say on purpose, but at this point in a series, I don't think I've heard of an indie that has, you know, that much kind of locked and loaded.
Not usually.
Yeah, and we have, so like one of the books that is just sitting in my Dropbox, we have a one shot. We already have 15 pages of the next book after this, Lines and Inks. Everything I've done has been with this series. Like I thought, like exactly, a lot of people do like 1-2 issues, 1 to 4 issues, or something like that. I'm trying to build something, and I want to just keep building it, and then what more comes out of it comes out of it. Like this is my superhero sci-fi playground, and
Nice.
we're gonna have a lot of fun with it.
Heck yeah. This is really
So yeah, that's gonna be a double page splash. That one on top. So
Okay.
it's super sick. I originally thought of something different, and Samuel, my artist, he's been with us since Project Naosis episode 2. He just killed it on this, and yeah, he murdered it. And then the next page is our new character Imperium, who debuts in this book. He was on the cover of our last issue. We're gonna see how he gets in there and what he does as well. But basically, there was no superheroes for 5 years, and now that people see that superheroes are on mainstream, it makes people not afraid that they're going to get brutally murdered for being a superhero or something like that. So now they're going to see other characters that have powers and or have
Start
abilities
coming
that
back
are
out of
starting
the
to make
woodwork.
their appearance to thinking they're the good guys and such, which maybe they are.
Okay. Very cool. Very cool. And I was it's funny that you just mentioned your how your artist killed it on the double page spread, because I was looking at it and I was just about to ask who your artist was, because this is so tight. And normally when we look at a lot of indies, it, you know, I mean, granted, this is your, you know, 9th book, so it had better be tight by now, but at the same
Yeah.
time, like, it just feels really cohesive. All of the lines, the paneling, the layout all looks so well done, and then the colors on top of it just really elevate it in that kind of new age comic style, you know what I mean, where everything's hyper saturated, but really identifiable. You didn't go too much on one side or the other kind of thing, and it looks super polished.
I appreciate that. Like, so I picked him up. We did this prequel book called Omega 2090. It's this cool book, and basically he did so good on the 2 issues. I was like, all right, go right to episode 2, and he did. And the artists that we had before are all big time artists now. Episode 0, we had Corey Hampshire do that. He's done Venom, X-Men Supreme. He's done inks for Marvel, Image, all that stuff. He did the first issue with us. The second issue, we had Julian Shaw, who now got picked up for doing inks for the Spider-Man series on Marvel Ultimate, and he does a lot of cool stuff for that site for them. And then Kyle Penchcock, who does Star Wars Unlimited, the card game, and G.I. Joe, and he does all these card games now, and he did that
Nice.
episode 1 with us. And then, you know, we went to Samuel, and it all flows the same. Like, if you pick up my book, like, it even though they're different designs and stuff, because of the armor, it's very easy to just be like, oh, cool, that's Omega. Like, that's just it, you know, and then you move forward. And then we're sticking with Samuel. He'll be on all of Volume 2, and then we'll see where we go from there, because I've been seeing a lot of good artists, and it's always good to, as long as it stays that same parallel. We did do a one-shot. I don't have the one-shot down here. That was with Evan G. He did the back cover to all my books, and I wanted to do a book with him. Yeah.
You got it.
Boom. He did the back
Holy
cover,
cow.
and then he did a whole book for us. It's our Crimson Payne one-shot, and it just follows our villain, Crimson Payne. And that was fun to do, too. And that's when we do one-shots, too, it'll be like a totally different style, because then we can play around with that. But our main story is always going to stay the same style.
No, that I think that's a really smart way to do it, because it's always fun to find new talent and to hunt new talent, and you always love to see like how other people are going to take your character designs and kind of enhance on them, because all your guys are in armor, right? The armor is very straightforward. This is what the armor looks like, and it's very identifiable. That doesn't mean that they can't add a little bit of their own flair to it and bring something that you otherwise maybe wouldn't have considered, and then that can also lead to new storylines and new plot points and stuff where, hey, this is how we can explain that this happened and this can be a piece going forward. Or it can just be, hey, that was really fun to see, but that's not where we're going with it.
Yeah, my artist right now, Samuel, he really likes certain characters, and he's like, oh, we should make adjustments to their suits. And I was like, cool. And one thing that, as long as it makes sense for the story, and then two, like, the reason why there's no multiverse or do-overs is because I love, like, you know, an HBO show or something like that where it goes and it goes. You know what I mean? The character in season 1 is not the character in season 8, and you'll see the damage throughout. Like, the battles that happen, if they can't heal, you'll see, like, if they have scars, they're going to have those scars. They're going to continue. It's going to build on their character. Every fight scene is going to have meaning later on and stuff. And then if you scroll up, that was our main art team. The first cover, that's our cover A. So our cover A is always our main team. So that's Crimson Payne beating the hell out of Lithium as Omega's trying to save his brother. That's our cover A. Sammy Marquis, Prasad Rao in colors. And our colorist now, too, is doing a lot of stuff for DC Comics. Doing a lot of covers for them. So,
you know, this looks so much like 80s, 90s cartoons. It's a really great style.
I think that's probably why I'm like so excited about seeing it, is because it feels like childhood. Like,
yeah, it's supposed to be fun. It's comics, and I want to make it crazier. Like, if I kill 90 million people in the first book, you know, it gotta get crazier by book 5. So
yeah, that's a bar. That's a bar to have to exceed, just like a little bit.
And the characters too. It's like, okay, you love a character. I have a lot of people that tell me a character their favorite was it's only going to be in one book, you know. But like that's the whole point. Like, I want every character to look really fucking cool, and they're either going to stick around or they don't. But regardless, you know, they're going to have a nice run.
Well, and there's always the opportunity if a character doesn't continue on with this story, that doesn't, like, the character doesn't cease to be. The character does still do other things. So there's always the opportunity.
Unless they get killed.
I mean, unless they die.
Yeah, the only way to do it is through backstory or through, you know, what was prior. Because there's a lot of things. Yeah. There's a lot of gaps in between. I skip a couple years on certain things. Like from episode 0 to 1, it goes to 2 to 5 years. So like you're picked up in the world. And there's a lot of cool breathing room, and that's why we did the prequel book Omega 2090, which follows our main superhero on how he got the powers, but we explain, you know, what happens throughout the book as well. That cover, like I said, love video games. We did that cover. I just wanted to make something cool. And then that's Vikan Marion. He's just doing the Green Lantern one shot. He's done Image Comics. He's done DC Comics. He's a super great artist, and this one's like one of my favorites.
This feels very Street Fighter to me. Like, I love this.
Got to select the character. I think that's like
it reminds me of the front of our webpage, Shae.
Yeah, at our webpage, we actually do this with the verses between my character and Sai's character, just on it, because that's something that we love. We think that's always been so fun. So I love that you have that, and I love that you have like the selection panel down at the bottom.
Yeah,
because I don't know, it just feels so neat.
Appreciate that. Yeah, that's what we wanted, and it's the characters that are in the book. You know, you have Omega, Lithium, Hellstate, and then Banshee, Thorn, and Crimson Payne. So
there you go, Shae.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's our webpage. We are a little partial to the verses. What did you just do?
I broke it. There you go.
Stop breaking things.
Yeah, it's fun to do the influences, and that's the thing I always want to do with covers too. Like even when we do homage covers, you know, see we've done New Mutants 87, and we've done X-Men Giant Size. It's all things that relate to the comic in a sense, you know. So same with the video game. I tell everyone, you know, a huge inspiration for this is Mortal Kombat, so gotta wear it.
Which considering how brutal it is, that definitely reads.
Yeah,
I can see the Mortal Kombat influence.
That cover, that's Corey Hampshire. So he did all of episode 0 for us, lines and inks, and then he drew Omega for us. He still does covers for us, and that's episode 0. And that's usually the thing too. Like even if I switch up artists, they'll still be doing covers for us. It's just an easy, like they've done it already, they know what they're doing, and then I could just give them some stuff to do. Or from a cover, you get a book. Like I did my cover B artist for episode 4. His cover was so good. We're doing a whole book together now. We have like 8 pages done, so we're doing some stuff.
Nice.
Sounds like you have a lot going on.
We're trying to swing. That's why we need everyone to support an awesome book that you're going to receive and love and get. Digital tier, $5. For $5, you get this issue. So if you want to give us a shot, $5, boom, get sent right to your email, and you can add all the digitals prior as well if you want. Single issues are only $10. All my books are anywhere from 24 to 40 pages. This one's going to be 24. The one prior was 28. So, they're really fulfilled. All my stories, I like to have really a beginning, middle, and end. And, of course, there's something to move the story forward. But you really get a lot fulfilled in these issues, especially that, they don't come out monthly, that we want to make sure we have the impact. And that's our cover B. Same thing, $10.
So that's actually something I was going to ask. If somebody were to jump in on this issue, are they going to be completely lost, or is it like you can still you may not get all the intricacies, but you're
There's
still
a
going to get a
catch
good
up.
story?
So with episode 5, I recommend if someone's starting new, I recommend getting episode 5 and adding episode 4 on for $10 more, because I'm purposely going to make every single volume. Like if you picked up volume 2 from the beginning, you'll know 90% of what's going on.
Right.
So that's because we really made this 4 and 5 like in a joint. So, it goes into the you see what's happening previous in episode 4, and now we're into the madness in episode 5. And this is kind of like our mid-season finale for that. And then if you want everything, you can easily get everything as well, which is it's like $50. You get the our trade paperback that retails for $50 on our website, and then you get our newest issues. The exclusive cover, that's $20. There's only gonna be 200 of those printed with no trade dress. I might not even print it with a trade dress, but 200 copies, boom, you get it. It's awesome. It's exclusive.
Nice.
You want all the digital, $25, easy steal. All 3 covers, we could do $40. And then that's the catch-up tier, the next one, which I was talking about. Like our trade retails for $50 on our website. You're paying $50 and you're getting episode 4, which is 10, and episode 5, which is 10. So you're saving $20 on that one. Just because we're trying to make sure if you get the books, you're enjoying them, and we're moving forward. And then if you want everything, we have a one shot and 2 other books. $80, you get everything. And yeah.
Very cool.
We have the original art as well. Any big ballers, $3K, you get the original V. Ken Marion art print. Not art print, the real lines and inks. Otherwise, he'll be selling that himself.
Accurate.
Rather through here, helps the campaign.
Yeah.
Add-ons, Crimson Payne one-shot. So that was the book I was talking about earlier. You follow the super enhanced speedster Crimson Payne on the same day as episode 0, where he brutally murders 90 million people and all the superheroes. And now he is going to the Goliath to basically free all these supervillains that were locked in the secret prison in the ocean. So we'll see how that goes.
Very cool. And that one's 28 pages, or no, 24 pages for the
24
one shot.
pages, yeah.
And then the
Omega
2090
2090 1 and 2, that's our prequel books. They're both 28 pages each. So it follows Omega, Hellsate, and Thorn the same day these 90 million people die. So it takes place in episode 0 as well, and then goes forth.
Very cool. Very, very cool.
That's episode 4, so we have 2 cover options on there. We have the cover A and the cover B. I don't think I put the cover B on there. But the $10, boom, that's the beginning of volume 2. There's an intro page of the news station telling you kind of what's going on, and it cuts right into who these characters are.
Awesome. So you just get right into the action, basically.
Yeah. So episode 4, we do some intros on some things. You're figuring out some more things on characters and what's going on, and then they go into mission, and then the mission is really going into the end of 4 and into 5.
Okay.
If you don't get the catch-up tier and you just want to add the trade paperback, you can. For $40, you can add the cover A, and then we have $50 for the other 2 covers. Otherwise, get the catch-up tier, you get a easier price.
Very nice.
So yeah, that's our cover B. Julian Shaw, he did interiors for us too, and he did that cover. He did the 12 pages, and then the cover C is the homage cover. That's our Giant Size X-Men cover. All the heroes that died previously and now with our new characters. So we really make it work.
Oh wow, that's neat. I like that.
And then of course you can add the other covers on as well if you want to get B or C or A, etc.
Very cool.
We have trading cards. We did it for one of the campaigns. We still have them, so you can add those on as well.
Awesome.
I like that you have a little section about where to start.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The exact
I'm learning with each campaign. They're getting better. If you look at my first one to now, it's night and day. I wish I could edit the old one because someone tagged my first one. I was like, "Fuck," you know.
Yeah.
I don't want people to see that. And,
Right.
Now it's like night. It's just like night and day difference. But that's only with like doing so many campaigns, and we're gonna do at least 4 more.
if we're gonna be honest though, for a lot of backers of indie projects, you know, myself and Alex included, that's one of the lures of being able to back an indie artist, is getting to see where they came from and where they've gone, because we've seen well over 400 campaigns at this point, right, Si?
How many?
400?
Yeah, about 450 now.
So we've seen the good, the bad, the in between, and a lot of people who watch our shows, a lot of people who are like us and back a lot of these first time creators that they haven't heard of, like you get to know pretty early on after like campaign 2 or 3 if this is something that's going to have staying power or if this is something that's going to fizzle out.
We're also not going to talk about how many you fucking backed because you're a mad woman.
We don't got to talk about that. That's like literally a lot of money.
That's literally a shit ton.
It's excessive. But the thing that I think is really cool is the fact that you've been here, you've been doing this for so long with so many different books, and you're coming out at a really respectable rate with these books, but it doesn't feel like what I'm seeing here, at least. It doesn't look like any quality is suffering. And
no, the quality's off the hook. All the books are insane. You can like beat someone with these books and they'll still be good.
That's what I look for in a comic book. Is it a book I can beat Psy up with? And
if you drop it on the floor, does it get eliminated? No. So
yeah, exactly, perfect. But yeah, I think that seeing that you've got that part in there shows that you are focused on your readers, you're focused on your fan base, and you want to bring more
I changed a lot. Like it originally was like a 6 issue, then 12, and then it was just too many characters. It was just felt so rushed, and then like I spaced it out more, and then I wanted to make sure like every volume is like still has a beginning, middle, and end too. So like 4, 5, 6, 7 is gonna have its own like ending. Volume 1 had its own ending, but it's still like, okay, what's the next day though? You know, after that. So what's next? Because the main target is fighting Crimson Payne, but we'll see what happens here. So
right. All right. So you have some stretch goals too.
Yeah. So realistically, like I said, I fund everything prior. So really at 8K, we're like profiting, we're good, no problems. Like I'm grateful enough that I do really well at all these conventions, that I can fund all these things prior. So yeah, 8K really gets us there. I know we'll eventually be getting there, and hopefully we do. If it's this campaign, the next, or the one to come after. But yeah, 8K is really where it starts. So once we hit 8K, bam, we get more stuff.
I was incorrect, Shae. There you go. I have corrected it.
Oh, 392. Okay.
Yes, so by Wednesday we'll hit 394.
Yes.
Yes.
Yep, we've done quite a few. Okay, so fulfillment, like you said, you've done 8 Kickstarters, 2 Indiegogo's.
And we fulfill really fast. Like all the other books are here. The only ones I have to print are the new books, because we'll letter it once the book's done, because then I reread everything. And then I go back into the script one more time with all the colors and everything and make sure everything's good, and then finalize it.
Yeah, that I totally understand that. The amount of times that we've seen people who have a script and they like, Alex and I both edit. We'll have people that have scripts. We read the script. We're like, cool, this is what it looks like it's happening. Here's our suggestions for the script. And then they don't want us to look at it again when there's art. And I was like, you do realize that it's a visual medium, and like 90% of the editing is going to come in how the art comes across. So
yeah, I could only really do dialogue. Like I'm finally now getting better that like I can like visualize it more. But once the artwork comes in and I see their facial expressions, I see things, I change a lot of it because it needs to match. I want it to match everything. Like it needs.
Yeah.
The art is first, so it's like I can easily change dialogue. I'd rather keep the cool fucking panels than make my dialogue be the main priority.
Or what was that time that did you Photoshop it where the guy was smacking the other guy and his head was going the wrong way?
Yeah, that's the other thing when you have an editor, or if you are good enough where you can edit your own stuff without
having to dip back to your artist. Yeah.
We had one guy who had us edit, and we were looking at the panel, and I was like, you realize that the way that the guy has slapped and the way that the head has gone can't be true. Unless you've spun him all the way around, and even still, like, his head's still
No.
turned wrong.
Yeah.
Like, so and I ended up just photoshopping. I was like, here's an easy fix if you can't afford to have it redrawn.
Yeah, I write, edit, and publish all my books. Like, of course I have some people that look over my grammar just because, you know, you always miss shit. And it's good to have friends that are in the field that look over my shit. But excluding that, I make sure I'm the final say. And really, like, my main editor to me is, like, my artist, because he'll be like, I want to do this instead. And I usually just say yes. So it's just...
Yeah. Well, that's,
like,
that's
he's
why
like,
having...
Do it. You know?
Having the good relationship with an artist is, like, paramount, because your artist is going to think of things in a way that you as a writer aren't, or you're going to be like, I don't know, like, I had this idea that this would happen somehow, and I figured you'd figure out how that would happen, because
like today he was like, he's like, Paul, like, send me a shitty sketch of what you mean in page 11. He's like, I can't think of anything, and I did, and I sent it to him. He's like, great. Like he just needs the shitty sketch. Like, even for the Mortal Kombat, like the video game cover we did, I have a really shitty sketch I did really fast with a pen and sent it to him, and he just nailed it right after. Like, he just sometimes
like,
they just
okay, got
see,
you.
like, okay, that's how it should lay out, and I can easily nail this and then amplify it by like 10 million. You know?
Yeah. Oh, and
'Cause I
Steve
can't
Maromi's got a good point, like, going back over it. So when you read your dialogue out loud and you're like, oh, that sounds terrible. It was fine in my head.
And I'm trying to get better with it too. Like, you'll see also, like, of course, like our first run in episode 0, I didn't know Kickstarter existed, so I did episode 0 first, went to conventions, then did episode 1. We remastered 0 for the trades. We sold out of all of our issues of those, and we have them in the trades. And they're with a different letter or two. Like, we learned through everything we've done, and happily we did that right away. And, you know, you'll see the growth in every book. Like, I definitely think these 2 issues are better than the last 2 issues, and I want that to, like, stay the same focus. For the book.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, if you're not improving, then...
Don't want to peak.
Exactly. You don't want to peak, you don't want to plateau, you don't want to stagnate.
Shae, hit community on the left there. No.
Oh.
You son of a bitch.
Sorry.
If you go to the campaign and then, community on the sidebar, boom, it's me at the conventions.
I was getting there. I'm still scrolling, dude.
Dude.
Yes.
Did you just dude
you
me?
were down, dude. That's what you get.
You better hope you made that cosplay good. I'm going at that mask. We're gonna tussle.
Yes. You definitely have been doing the hustle at conventions like crazy. Like, it's just insane how many pictures you have.
I do all the big conventions. I'm in New York, San Diego. We're doing a lot of shows. We'll do at least 20 shows this year. And, you know, we're just picking up the pace, and we're seeing a really good result. We're featured in Forbes 3 times. The last time was in October for New York Comic-Con. So we're pushing it.
Very
nice. So where are you based if you hit these cons everywhere?
I'm in New Jersey. So New York Comic-Con is a drive away, and California is a flight away.
You should hit Baltimore.
I do Baltimore. I did that one. I did really well. I didn't have my voice. My wife was selling for me most of the time, and thank God she
We
does the
didn't
same
see you. We worked Baltimore.
So I was there. I was in I forgot where, but I was like right on like, it was like a front section, and then I was like right to the side. I forgot. It might have been row D. Might have been row D in Artist Alley. But yeah, I do Baltimore, and I'll be there again. I just didn't pay for my table yet. But
that's cool. So it's in October next year instead of September.
Yeah. So I was gonna. I confirmed with them that I would do it, and then I just everyone wanted the money at the same time. I just had to pay San Diego, New York. It was crazy. They want everything.
Yeah.
That's a shitload of money. Let me tell you, because we've looked at getting tables ourselves for our various endeavors. And
New York, I pay like $1,900. I have a booth on the main floor. So.
Jeez, a little.
Yeah,
That's
and then New York, San Diego's like 700, and then so it's all profitable though. We do, like I said, it's able to fund these books and these endeavors, and I need the space.
I love how the cat gives 0 shits about what you look like. He's just
he
like,
does not care.
Mom, hug.
Never cares. He just instantly wants hugs.
He gives people hugs too. So since you haven't seen our show, he wraps his arms around your neck on both sides and just snuggles in. He's great.
He's usually pretty awesome. Sometimes he's kind of a douche, aren't you?
Sometimes.
Like I think he wants a kiss, but he doesn't know how to get around the teeth.
No, no.
No fear.
You made the noise. That's good enough.
Oh, I kissed him. I got his nose. All right, so you are currently sitting at you're almost at 4,000. 8 more days to go, and then is this going to be available like on a storefront or?
So if you go to projectnaosis.com, you can get all of my books shipped directly to you. My shop has everything on there, from other single issues to the trades, but there's better rates on this Kickstarter right now.
Yeah.
Nice.
And plus, you have the Kickstarter exclusive stuff on here, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't. And a lot of the stuff too, like I only put a limited amount on. Like once I sell a certain amount on my website, I usually take it off, and then I'll save them for campaigns and stuff. Like that's. So, yeah, everything's on our website too. We ship everything directly to you, and then I don't know if I'm going to do a second chance after this. I'm still deciding. I usually do. I've done 2 on Indiegogo, and then I was thinking maybe going somewhere else for a second thing. But I have so many other campaigns that I'm working on. I don't know if I'm going to, but we'll see.
You should check out Fund My Comic. It's
Yeah, so I was talking to them. That was they messaged
yeah,
me.
Luke's our buddy.
I respect the hustle.
Yeah.
He's already kind of like switched me over from not doing Indiegogo. I just want to know if I commit to doing another thing, because I have I might just go right into episode 6 pre-launch and start saving the backers for that, or
Yeah.
putting it
Yeah,
right on my website.
The really cool thing about his, other than the fact that it's very Indiegogo-like in the sense that it's very straightforward with the interface and stuff like that. Because we've known Luke since he was making Fund My Comic. But the other really cool thing is that it's so much cheaper in platform fees and transaction fees. So he's really coming at it from he's a creator, so he wants to do right by creators.
Yeah.
Yeah, I respect the hustle. So that's probably what I'm gonna do. I just need to look more into it, and then
By the
And
way,
then
we
just
don't get
do that.
anything for plugging Luke Stone's Fund My Comic. I just want to throw that out to the audience.
No, we just like
and
what
then
he's doing.
after this one, we're going right into episode 6. It already has
Nice.
15 pages done. I have another campaign that I'm going to launch through my publishing company called Lethal Leopard, which is going to be really cool. And then
So, did we talk about the other side things that are available on here? The 2090.
We gazed over it.
So they're available as add-ons. Omega 2090 Book 1 and
Yeah, and 2.
Book 2,
So we
yeah.
took the artists from that and put them on the main series. And these ones do better. So I was like, if I have to use the artist for something, I want him to do the main series. If you do get those 2 issues, there is a beginning, middle, and end. And of course, there's always a cliffhanger. But the cliffhanger would be its own thing. So you really find out how Omega and Hellsay get their powers in their first mission that they go on. And you also see some Crimson Payne. So a lot of people love that guy. I love how people are really voting for him to win, which is concerning.
no, we always back the villain.
He's not good, guys. I don't like.
No,
Where's
we
the
love
humanity?
Yeah, he's and not saying the heroes aren't, the heroes are dealing with different stuff too. Like you'll see that some heroes are coping with murdering people all the time, not as well as some of the other people that might be enjoying it. So it's like we're having a big thing going on, and like I said, we're working to that end moment. So the characters where they are now is not where they're going to be ending up at. So we're really building.
Shae, can you scroll to the picture for Book 2? I was just going to ask. Now, is that it right there? Then up. Go up.
That's 1. That's 2.
Okay, fine, 1. So in 1, is that spot gloss, or is that just how the picture's coming across?
What do you mean?
I mean the fact that Crimson there looks like he really pops out against the colors of like the guys' uniforms and stuff. So I was just wondering
Check it out.
No,
it's just a picture. Gotcha.
Yeah.
You fucker.
yeah,
Very
so
nice.
You did like a full gloss cover.
Yeah, these we did gloss. I've done gloss on a lot of the first prints, but then we do matte, and then I've updated the logo a couple times to make it really cool.
I know how that is.
Yeah, it just like sometimes I heard things in the beginning. They're like, you should fill out the letters, because at first it was let's actually see if it's this one. The white wasn't filled in, and I was like, no, it's fine, like because I'm just stubborn. And then, like And then now it's like filled in, it looks way better.
Yeah.
You know, I listen.
Readability.
It takes a while sometimes. My letter had to yell at me a couple times, but it's eventually I listen.
So we've been doing this channel for over 5 years now, and I can't tell you the amount of versions of our channel logo that we've gone through. Because I just sit there and stare at it, and I'm like, I don't like this part. And she's like, stop fucking with it. We put this on merch. We need to stop redoing this.
Yeah, I'm the one that makes all of our merch, and Sai's the one that makes me have to update all of our merch because they keep changing all of our shit, and then I have
You
to
got
go
the
back
classic
and
and got the new ones.
Yeah. It's ridiculous. This looks epic. I'm really excited we were able to get you on and that you reached out, and I'm really hoping that
He's
you
gonna
get
hit 4K.
I mean, I would be.
He's got 8
Yeah,
days
I'm
to go.
definitely-
I'm thinking
definitely hitting
45,
4K.
maybe 5.
I would like 4,500. That'd be cool. The most we ever did was 4,269, and then the most backers we ever had was 139. So if we beat those two, awesome. Our last campaign in our first day, we raised $600. This one we did 1,732, so that's a big improvement.
Nice.
Wow.
So we're getting there, and this is the worst month to release, so like
It
we're-
really
It
is.
is. This is a terrible one.
yeah. Thanksgiving was scary for me. I was like, when the 4 days, I was like, yo, I'm getting one backer a day. But now I think it's different, and I've also released in January, and that was the campaign we're trying to beat. So like with the popularity, so then I'm definitely going to release something in February, something new. So.
At least you're not trying to fulfill at Christmas time. That's fucking horrible with with mail.
Don't ship over Christmas.
I'm being nice. I say 3 months. I usually do it in less, but I don't like stressing. Like I think too much about it. 3 months is more than enough time for me to get everyone their books to their house. So.
Yeah. Your Easter surprise. You get blood and gore.
Well, this looks amazing. Is there any other things that you want to let anybody know before we wrap?
Yeah, let me see if I can. I'm gonna pull. Can I pull something up and send it to you guys real quick? Yeah.
Sure.
Let me see. I'll show you my other thing. I have a pre-launch for. I'm just gonna type in Project Naosis. It'll come right up to Lethal Leopard.
Also, while you're pulling that up, please let us know when you're about to launch your next one, so that we can get you on. Since we schedule, a month and a half, 2 months, sometimes even 2.5 in advance with everything.
I sent it, but now I'm gonna send it to the private chat too. Whatever's easier, I put it on Twitter and put it on this. And then that's Lethal Leopard. So you guys, do you watch WWE or wrestling at all ever in your life?
I used to be a huge fan.
Okay, so in the 2010s, there was this wrestler called Enzo Amore. He was a wrestler with a big cast. He was a tag team guy. He still does a lot of indie stuff now. He's a rapper. Met him at New York Comic Con. He was super cool. And we're making a comic book where he transforms into a giant Anubis with wings, and he's going to be trying to escape the underworld for some reason. He has to get back to Earth. That's going to be the interior art and the artist.
Very cool. And then this is, well, it's not really a mailing list.
Yeah. So it's the pre-launch. So you follow the pre-launch when we're probably going to launch around February. The artist is Igor Texteria. Igor does a lot of the concept art for Rippaverse and stuff like that. And he was the person that we did a cover with. And I was like, dude, we're doing a book. And it just happened to roll in the right places. And I think the character design's insane. It has nothing to do with Project Naosis. This is going to be my first book that has nothing to do with it. It's going to be still super violent, super action-packed, and on top of it, insane, because me and him sat down for a couple hours and thought of this crazy idea, and then Igor landed the artwork. So
it looks super badass, and I love that you've got a clear vision on what you want a lot of your comics and your stories to look like, and it's pretty cohesive despite the fact that they may have nothing to do with each other. Like, you can definitely tell that you have a style that you like to use for your storytelling, and I think that it's spot on. It looks like it's just what you need.
Yeah, it needs to match the story, and
the
giant flying Anubis can, if drawn wrong, would look absolutely so corny and ridiculous. And he's in cheetah print, it's insane.
There's a lot
but
that could go wrong here.
If you saw that, you'd be like, awesome. You know what I mean? If you saw that in person, you're like, that's cool. And then he has a giant sword that he cuts everyone in half with. He's gonna be fighting demons.
Absolutely.
Come on.
Well, I put the link in the chat so everybody.
The last thing you want to hear is, "Mommy, why is that huge chicken fighting?"
yeah.
Everyone go sign up for the pre-launch page of Lethal Leopard. Make sure you go and back this absolutely amazing book, Project Naosis. It's it looks like it's so much fun, and there's so much content for you there, so you can definitely jump in now. You can, probably do episode 4 too, because that would just make more sense. But
Yes.
or you could get everything, and just really kind of get fully stuck into this world. It looks like it's very well fleshed out. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. I think you've done a fantastic job. Yeah, I think we will roll out with the trailer. I just want to say thank you so much, Paul, for hanging out with us. It's been amazing.
Appreciate it.
Definitely reach out to us. We want to get you back on for the Lethal Leopard.
Lethal Leopard or episode 6 will be the next one. So
you let us know, and we will see if we can get you on. I'm sure we will be able to make it work. But thank you everybody for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Red Valkyrie. Ring the bell, leave a comment. All of that helps the algorithm. We love you so much, and we will see you guys next time. Bye.
Bye.
welcome all to our 9th Kickstarter campaign, Project Naosis Episode 5. This installment will be 24 pages with 3 amazing cover options, and in this world, there is no multiverse or do-overs, so the stakes don't get any higher. Now for the story. In the year 2090, a speedster named Crimson Payne rised up and killed off all the superheroes in existence. So the government made a super enhanced team called Project Naosis to fight off this rebellion. And for 5 years, they battled across the globe, leading up to this episode where we finally will see the Project Naosis unit face off against Crimson Payne in an epic clash. Who will live and who will die? Find out by ordering today.